we'll start with the class. Okay, so basically the topic for today, that is the anti-arrhythmic agent. Okay, so before going into the topic, that is the anti-arrhythmic agents. Okay, so coming from the word arrhythmic. Okay, arrhythmic का मतलब है something related to rhythm. Okay, like rhythm of the heart, है ना? How our heart are beating. Okay, I hope everyone has some knowledge regarding the conduction system. Did you do cardiovascular system in the? Did you do in biology, or you must have done in biology also, and maybe in med search also you have done some cardiovascular disorders, है ना? You must be aware of conduction system. Who can tell me the conduction system? Who will tell me? Aradhana? Aradhana is there. Anji Aradhana. Can you hear my voice? Hello, Aradhana. Okay, let me ask somebody else. Nutan. Nutan is present.
Yes, ma'am.
Nutan, can you tell me something about conduction system? Electrical conduction system of the heart. Any idea? SA node, सुना होगा SA node, AV node.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
So, हाँ बोलो. अगर याद नहीं है तो बोल दो directly that you don't remember, so I can move on. याद है?
मैम आपको
ठीक है, मैं बोल देती हूँ. Okay. So before going into antiarrhythmic agent, first you have to understand the conduction system. Okay, conduction system of the heart. It means when the electrical impulse is transferring from one node to the other node. Okay, ये जो electrical impulse है, that is very important for the. It is important for the pumping of the heart. Okay, so electrical impulse usually starts from the SA node, sinoatrial node, which we call it as the pacemaker of the heart. Okay, so from SA node, the electrical signals or the electrical impulse starts. Okay, and it will go directly where? It will go directly to the AV node. We call it as the atrioventricular node. Okay, and some of the electrical impulse will go to the left side of the heart, that is the left atrium. Okay, and also a little bit will go to the right atrium. Okay, so electrical impulse generated from SA node will go to AV node, a little bit will go to the right atrium, and a little bit will go to the left atrium. Okay, so when the electrical impulse reaches the AV node or the atrioventricular node, then from there it will go to the bundle of His. Okay, the bundle of from the bundle of His, then it will go down. It will go down to the. There are two types of bundle branch. एक है left bundle branch and the other is right bundle branch. So left bundle branch will take the electrical signals towards the left side of the heart, and right bundle branch will take you to the right side of the heart. Okay, so all the electrical signals will go in this manner. Okay, left side, the left bundle branch will take the electrical signals, and also on the right side, the right bundle branch. And then from the right bundle branches or from the left bundle branches, it will go to the Purkinje fibers. Okay, so that is how the electrical impulse is, or the electrical signals is transferring in the heart. Okay, and because of these electrical impulse or the electrical signals, therefore it is helping our heart to pump the blood. Okay, therefore the cardiac output will increase. Okay, So you must have seen ECG paper. Okay, you must have been in the wards when you're in the emergency department, or even in the wards also they perform ECG. Okay, so when you perform the ECG, you will see a small paper. We call it as the ECG paper. Okay, so in the ECG paper, you will see you can see some diagrams. Okay, so they are called as the PQRST waves. Okay, so those PQRST waves, okay, there is a normal pattern for PQRST waves. Okay, लेकिन अगर patient is suffering from any problem relating with the conduction system, okay, if there is any heart block, or if patient is suffering from any arrhythmias, okay, arrhythmia is the abnormal rhythm of the heart. Okay, so if patient is suffering from any arrhythmias, then the PQRST wave in their ECG will be abnormal. Okay, so in such patients suffering from arrhythmias where there is abnormal beating of the heart, abnormal rhythm of the heart, then in such patients we will give anti-arrhythmic agents. Okay, so there are some medicines that will help the patient's conduction system to be normal. Okay, so in arrhythmias, what happens is basically it means abnormal cardiac rhythm. Okay, it occurs due to any abnormal excitability of a part of cardiac muscle. So here cardiac muscles also plays an important part. Okay, so if there is any abnormal excitation, okay, so the level of activity increases in the cardiac muscles, that can lead to arrhythmias, that is abnormal heart rhythm. And also if there is any abnormality in the conduction system. For example, SA node is not generating enough of electrical signals, okay, or AV node is not active. Okay, AV node is not active, or the bundle of His is not working, or the Purkinje fibers are not active. So what happens is electrical signals will not, the cycle of conduction system will not be complete. क्यों? क्योंकि बीच में block हो रहा है ना? Sometimes SA node is not working, या AV node is not working, or there is some congestion, or there is some traffic jam, or some block in the pathways of the electrical signal. Okay, so from SA node, for example, from SA node, the electrical signal has to go to the AV node. Okay, so between SA node and AV node, there can be some block, there can be some congestion in between. Okay, so electrical signal is not going in a proper manner, it is not going in a proper channel. So because of that, patient can have abnormal heart rhythm. Okay, and in such patients, we will give medicines or drugs for treating arrhythmias. We call it as anti-arrhythmic agents. Is this clear? Is this clear with the concept of anti-arrhythmic agents? When we should give anti-arrhythmic agents? Is this clear? किसी को doubt है? Say yes or no. Don't keep quiet. Yes. Okay.
No, ma'am.
So this was the basically the introduction of anti-arrhythmic agent. Okay, so first you have to know what is the problem. Okay, the problem is the abnormal heart rhythm. Okay, we call it as arrhythmias. Okay, if patient is suffering from any arrhythmia, so there's so many types of arrhythmias. Okay, there's so many. They're based on the different categories. Okay, there are ventricular fibrillation, there is ventricular tachycardia, there is sinus tachycardia, there is asystole. Okay, so these are the types of arrhythmias, and there is also another which you call it as heart block. Okay, so if patient is suffering from any of these type of arrhythmias, then in such condition, what medicine we will give? Anti-arrhythmic agents. Okay, so we will see the mechanism of action of these anti-arrhythmic agents. Okay, so first of all, these drugs or these medicines, they block the sodium channel of the cell membrane. Okay, so when they block the sodium channel, they are not allowing the sodium channel to be transported. So what happens is the excitability in the cardiac muscle will decrease. Okay, क्योंकि we know that what is causing arrhythmias, it is because of the excitation of the cardiac muscle. And It can be because of the electrical conduction system failure. Okay, if there is any problem in the conduction system. So these 2 points can cause arrhythmias. Okay, so antiarrhythmias, the first action is that these medicine, okay, they will try to decrease the excitability of the cardiac muscle. They will not allow the cardiac muscle or the the myocardium, endocardium to be active, okay, to be excited. Okay, so how we are reducing or how are we decreasing the excitability of cardiac muscle is by not allowing the sodium channel to sodium channel of the cell membrane to be transported. Okay, and because the excitability of cardiac muscle is decreased or is reduced, therefore it will slow the conduction in the heart. Okay, so it is trying to manage and trying to bring into the normal heart rhythm. Then there is a medicine in antiarrhythmic agent which you call it as verapamil. Okay, so this verapamil medicine or this verapamil drug, what does it do? It blocks the calcium channel. Okay, so not only it blocks the sodium, but also this medicine specifically it blocks the calcium channels and it prevents the accumulation or the collection of calcium ions in the myocardial cells. Okay, in the um, yes, in the myocardium cells. Okay, so वहाँ पे it is not, it is not, this injection or this medicine will not allow the calcium ion to be collected or to be stored in the myocardial cells. So if there are no calcium ions in the myocardial cells, then this will decrease the conduction of the EV node and it will try to bring it into the normal heart rhythm. Then last is the beta blockers. Okay, they also block the beta adrenal receptors at the heart and reduces the excitability of the heart. So I have taught you about beta blockers. Okay, in the previous classes, in detail I've explained about beta blockers. Okay, they are also under the category of antihypertensive agent. Okay, so these beta blockers, what do? They block the which type of receptor? They block the beta adeno receptor. Where which organ is, where is it present? It is present at the heart. ठीक है, तो ये जो receptors हैं, they are present in the heart, and these when we are giving beta blockers, then it will try to block all the beta adrenal receptors. Okay, and when it blocks the adrenal receptors, then what happens is the cardiac muscle will not be excited anymore. ठीक है, वो जो excitement level है वो decrease हो जाएगा, and because of that the heart rhythm can come back into the normal state. Okay, so these are the three points in the mechanism of action. Okay, is this clear with all the 3 points? Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
So in antiarrhythmic agents, okay, so there are so many medicines that we can give to the patient. First of all, there is a medicine, we call it as quinidine. Okay, quinidine is the medicine name. The dose of quinidine is 200 to 300 mg. We can give 3 to 4 times, or TDS or QID. Okay, and we can give it in oral form. So it can come in the tablet form, it can come in a capsule form also. Okay, so we will give this orally by mouth. Okay, and we will give this daily. Okay, so 200 to 300 mg is the dose. Okay, the time, that is 3 to 4 times daily. 3 to 4 times in a day. We can give it TDS or we can give it QID. Okay, and this is given orally in the form of tablet or in the form of capsule. Okay, it does not come in the form of injection. Okay, which the medicine that comes in the form of injection is the lidocaine. Okay, so lidocaine, it comes in the form of injection. The dose is 1 mg per kg. Okay, so remember the dose here is 1 mg based on the patient's weight. Okay, so 1 mg per kg, it is given in IV, and there is also a 2% injection. Okay, so you must have seen lidocaine. Okay, we also use it comes in a vial form. Okay, not in ampoule, but it is in a vial. Okay, it is it's a big vial. Okay, and and then I think the color of the covering of the vial, that is in gray color, gray and red. Okay, so lidocaine is a anti-arrhythmic agent. We can use it in emergency situation. Okay, in the emergency crash car, okay, or in the emergency trolley, you will always see lidocaine injection. Okay, so that was about lidocaine. Then we also have lignocaine. This must be very familiar to you. Okay, lignocaine is also an anesthetic medicine. Okay, so lignocaine, the dose is 100 mg and we can give IV. Then next is the verapamil. That this I've already explained the mechanism of action. Okay, so verapamil we will give 80 mg thrice daily or TDS. Then we also have propanolol. We can give 20 to 80 mg daily. Atenolol 50 to 100 mg twice daily. Then there's also another medicine like Bretillium 5 to 10 mg per kg. This is the loading dose. Then we also have another medicine that is Ibutylite. This is 1 mg. We give in an IV form and it is given for 10 minutes. So this is a slow IV. Okay, we do not give it in fast, but we give in a slow IV. Okay, so these are some of the examples of anti-arrhythmic agents with their doses and their duration. Is this clear with everyone? Anybody has any
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that was about the medicines. Okay, so I have taught you about the introduction, I have taught you about the mechanism of action and relating with the medicine and their dosage. Now coming to the indications. Okay, so the indication when we should give anti-arrhythmic agents. Okay, so first of all, I said that we give in arrhythmias. You know, if patient is having any arrhythmias, that is the abnormal heart rhythm. Okay, and if patient is having any abnormal conduction system. In arrhythmias, okay, when you study in cardiovascular disorders, okay, there is a topic that is arrhythmias. In arrhythmias, there are so many types of arrhythmias. Okay, we have ventricular arrhythmias, we have ventricular tachycardia, we have sinus tachycardia, then we also have heart block, and heart block also there are so many types. Okay, heart block 1, heart block 2. Okay, then we also have asystole. Okay, so these are the types of arrhythmias. Okay, so when we should give anti-arrhythmic agents, first of all, we can give in patients suffering from ventricular arrhythmias. Okay, so ventricular arrhythmia, we know it comes from the word ventricles. Okay, we know that ventricles, there are two ventricles, one is the right ventricle and the other is left ventricle. Okay, and ventricles, where are they present, up or down? Who can tell me? Ventricles are located upper portion of the heart, or they are located in the lower portion of the heart? Who would like to tell me?
Ma'am, lower portion of the heart.
Yes, it is present in the lower portion of the heart. Okay, so if there is any abnormal electrical signal, okay, in the lower portion of the heart, it would include the bundle of His, it would include the Purkinje fibers, and also the right and left branches. This bundle branches. Okay, so if there is any abnormal electrical signal, means that the electrical signals, electrical impulse is not transporting from the AV node to the bundle of His, from the bundle of His to the right and left bundles, branches, and then from there to the Purkinje fibers. अगर बीच में कोई भी obstruction हो रहा है, ठीक है, there is no proper channeling, there is no proper way for the electrical signals to pass, then that can lead to ventricular arrhythmias. Okay, so ventricular arrhythmias are basically the abnormal heartbeat. Okay, abnormal heartbeat that originates in the lower heart chambers. Okay, in the lower heart chambers, we have right ventricle and left ventricles. Okay, so because of these abnormal heartbeat, because of these abnormal electrical signals, okay, so what happens is the heart will tend to beat very fast. Okay, it will try to beat very fast. Okay, so what happens is when the heartbeat is very fast, when the pulse rate is very high, so what do we call in that condition? We call it as tachycardia. You know? So when the pulse rate is more than the normal level, we call it as tachycardia. When the pulse rate is less than the normal level, then we call it as bradycardia. Okay, so antiarrhythmic agents we will give in patients suffering from ventricular arrhythmias, okay, because of the arrhythmia, because of the abnormal electrical conduction system in the lower region of the heart, and also because of the hyperexcitability of the cardiac muscle. Okay, so there can be ventricular tachycardia. Okay, so in such condition also we can give antiarrhythmic agent. Okay, then lidocaine, it is used in life-threatening situation. Okay, uh, to, it is used in to treat life-threatening ventricular arrhythmias. Okay, so patients with ventricular arrhythmias, they have a tendency not to survive for a long time. Okay, so in such emergency condition, we can give injection lidocaine. Okay, then it is also used to treat sinus tachycardia. Okay, so here also sinus tachycardia. For this, we will give injection propranolol. Okay, so okay, so and also we will give or we will provide condition where patient is having high blood pressure or hypertension. Okay, so antiarrhythmic agents also it is used as an antihypertensive agent, and also it is used in life-threatening situation. Okay, so is this clear with the indications of antiarrhythmic agent? Anybody has any doubt? किसी को doubt है? Yes or no? At least ये तो बोलो.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to the contraindication of when we should take precautions. Okay, so contraindication is first, if patient is having or suffering from any persistent severe bradycardia. Okay, so bradycardia, what I said, bradycardia is when the pulse rate is less than the normal value. Okay, so if pulse rate is very low, okay, or no, in such condition, or if patients if you're if you're not feeling the pulse, or if the pulse rate is very low, then in such condition we should not give antiarrhythmic agent. Okay, if patient is suffering from any cardiac failure, okay, heart failure, where the heart is not able to pump any more of the blood. Okay, why? Because there can be some infection or there can be some congestion in the ventricles. Okay, so because of the congestion, the ventricles or the heart is not able to pump enough of the blood. Okay, धीरे धीरे वो जो heart muscle है वो weak हो जाते हैं and it will stop pumping. So in such condition, we will call this as heart failure. Okay, so if patient is suffering from any heart failure, then we should not give antiarrhythmic agent. And if patient is suffering from any sensitivity or hypersensitivity or any allergic reactions to the to these medicines, okay, if they are having any allergic reactions to any antiarrhythmic agent, either propranolol or verapamil or atenolol, okay, so we should not give antiarrhythmic agent. We should stop the medication right away. Okay, and we should not give in cardiogenic shock also. Okay, then we have to be very careful when we are giving incomplete atrioventricular block. कि complete atrioventricular block का मतलब है any obstruction. Okay, if there is any obstruction between the atrium and the ventricles, okay, so like proper signals are not, proper electrical impulse is not transporting, it is not flowing properly. Okay, so because of this congestion, because of this block, the electrical signals are not passing from one node to the other, then patient can have atrioventricular block. So in such condition, we should not give antiarrhythmic agent. And also in second and third degree heart block. Okay, when there is a block or if there is an obstruction in the pathways of the conduction system, then in such condition we should not give antiarrhythmic agent. Okay, so is this clear with the contraindications? किसी को doubt है?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so now coming to the adverse effects. Okay, what are the adverse effects after taking antiarrhythmic agent? Number one is hypotension. Okay, patient can undergo hypertension or orthostatic hypotension when their blood pressure is less than 120 by 80. Then heart failure. Patient can develop heart failure also. Okay, then patient can have some dizziness, fatigue, tiredness, okay, weakness, and patient can also suffer from nausea, vomiting. Okay, so these are some of the adverse effects of antiarrhythmic agents. Now coming to the nursing responsibility. Okay, so first of all, we have to, before giving any medication to the patient, especially antiarrhythmic agent, whether it's lidocaine or lignocaine or verapamil or propanolol or atenolol, we have to be very careful. We have to follow the 10 rights of medication. Okay, always check the label, always check the expiry date. Okay, and check for the name twice or thrice, and also we have to correlate with the medication orders. Okay, always check for the medication orders, how much dose you have to give, what is the right dose you have to maintain, right time, right patient, right medicine. Okay, and before, especially before administering lidocaine injection, always check the label to prevent any administering from containing epinephrine or any preservatives. Okay, so you always have to check lidocaine, the content of lidocaine. Okay, either it is combined with epinephrine or it is either combined with other preservatives. Then after administering breathilium, we have to keep the patient in supine position and have to observe for hypotension. So hypotension, like I said, is one of the adverse effects of antiarrhythmic agent. So especially when we are giving breathilium. Okay, so after we have given injection breathilium, then we have to keep the patient, tell the patient to relax, place the patient in a comfortable supine position and check for their blood pressure. Teach the patient to change the position slowly if they are taking breathilium, because they can have dizziness, they can have weakness, fatigue. So always tell the patient to change their position slowly, move slowly. Then administer IV bolus for ventricular arrhythmias, followed by continuous IV infusion as ordered. So in case of ventricular arrhythmia, which is a emergency situation, okay, we always give IV bolus. We do not dilute in normal saline, or we do not dilute in IV fluids, okay, or we do not give it by IV infusion, okay, but we administer IV bolus means directly, okay, directly we give directly into the cannula or directly into the IV, into the veins, okay, and after giving bolus IV injection or direct injection, then we can maintain by giving IV infusion. Okay, continuously we can start with IV infusion after giving the injection. Okay, so this is in case for ventricular arrhythmias. Okay, and apart from this, you have to monitor the vital signs, check for their blood pressure, check for their temperature, pulse rate, which is very important, respiratory rate, and SpO2 level also. Then also check for any pain, okay, chest pain, or and also perform the ECG. Okay, you should know how to perform the ECG. Okay, how to read the ECG paper, and because if we are not performing the ECG properly, okay, गलत electrodes लगाए हैं, ठीक है, you're not of the electrodes which are placing on the extremities of the patient, on the hands and the legs, you are not placing it properly, then that can lead to not good ECG paper. Okay, so the readings will not be proper or you will not be accurate. Okay, so you have to perform the ECG correctly, and if you have any doubt in performing the ECG, you can always call the nursing staffs also for assistance. Okay, so these are some of the nursing responsibilities, and also you have to tell the patient, educate the patient if they are reporting any signs and symptoms of side effects. Okay, so you have to report to the doctor immediately. Okay, so is this clear to everyone with the nursing responsibilities for antiarrhythmic agents? Anybody has any doubts?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so so today, just a summary. Today, I've explained to you firstly about arrhythmias. Okay, what is arrhythmia? Okay, what is it is the abnormal heart rhythm or abnormal cardiac rhythm. Okay, why arrhythmia is taking place or why is it occurring? It is because of any abnormal uh, abnormal conduction system. Okay, electrical signals or electrical impulse are not transporting properly to the nodes, to the AV nodes or to the SA node, to the bundle of His, to the Purkinje fibers because of the any abnormal conduction system, and also because of the hyper excitability of the cardiac muscles. So because of these 2 points, there can be patient can suffer from arrhythmias. And if patient is suffering from arrhythmias or any abnormal heart rhythm or abnormal heartbeat, then we have to administer antiarrhythmic agents. Okay, so this is then I've also explained the mechanism of action. There are many medicines that are under antiarrhythmic agents and their doses respectively, and also the duration, the time. Then indications, okay, the contraindications also I've explained, the adverse effects, what are the the adverse or the side effects that will show on the patient after we administer antiarrhythmic agents, and also their nursing responsibility. Okay, so is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I will send this PowerPoint in the group and read each and every slide. If you have any doubts, you let me know in the next class. Okay, and yes, and I think I have one more topic with you, that is hypolipidemia. Okay, so that is the only topic that is left, or else I've completed all your the units. Okay, so what you do is you take the syllabus and you see if I have not completed or I have missed any topic from any unit. Okay, if you feel that I have not completed the topic, then please let me know beforehand so that uh, I will teach you. Okay, because I've almost completed your syllabus, so only one topic is left and then the syllabus is complete. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
thank you all.